Hello. I want to talk a little bit more about the book, The Fine Art of Propaganda. One thing that I did not cover in the previous video is that the book is based on the radio speeches of Father Charles Coughlin. He was an Irish Catholic priest up in the Detroit area that had a radio show. Now, Rachel Maddow on MSNBC did a podcast called Ultra, in which she was trying to draw comparisons between other extremist groups and January 6th. The problem is, in episode 2, called The Brooklyn Boys, Rachel Maddow makes this statement, and I quote, "Today, Father Coughlin sometimes gets referenced like there's a direct through line from him to modern ultra-conservative radio and TV personalities in the United States. And there is a way to make that case, sure, but it shouldn't be attempted without really contending with how extreme Father Coughlin was." You know, she's insinuating that there's a direct line from him to conservative pundits of today. The problem with the logic of this is that Father Coughlin was a Democrat. Father Coughlin spoke at the Democratic Convention in Chicago in 1932 in support of FDR. That's where he coined the phrase, Roosevelt or ruin. Now, he kind of turned on FDR because FDR didn't go quite far enough in the sort of socialist Democrat side of things. Father Coughlin wanted FDR to federalize the banks, to have the government take over the banks. He also wanted the government to take over corporations. He was actually against capitalism. Father Coughlin also had a periodical, a political paper that he published called The Social Justice from 1936 to 1942. He also founded the National Union for Social Justice, which is a political movement that was formed in 1934. It criticized FDR, and it supported the Union Party. Its candidate was William Lemke, who was a Republican, but it drew less than 2% of the popular vote in 1936. The Union Party's founding members were Father Coughlin, who was a Democrat, Francis Townsend, who was of the Townsend Old Age Plan, he was a Republican, and then also a Democrat by the name of Gerald L.K. Smith, who was a friend of the Democrat governor of Louisiana at the time, Huey Long. Charles Coughlin also supported Huey Long. Gerald K. Smith also supported Eugene Talmadge, who was the Democrat governor of Georgia, who was a segregationist and a white supremacist. But he was a Democrat. All of these guys were pretty much in the Democrat socialist category. They wanted government to take over the utilities, the banks, corporations. They were against capitalism. All of these types of movements, when they take power, they have to have sort of a fascist leaning, because in order for the government to take over all of these things, they have to have a lot more power over people. So what Rachel Maddow said, I guess, could be true, that you could draw a line from Father Coughlin to Republicans, but you'd kind of have to go around the Democrats and around the socialists to get there, because he was closer to that side. He actually was a Democrat, and most of the guys that were in these groups were Democrats. If you found this interesting, if you want to argue about it and comment below, hit the like button, subscribe, and thanks.